Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 403
403.
of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. This is a very exciting week coming up because Disneyland Paris is going to open on the 17th. And then Hotel New York, the Art of Marvel, which is like a Marvel hotel. You know, the old New York hotel is now going to be all Marvel all the time.
Well, very exciting. It's been 8.5 months since the goodness of Disneyland Paris has been able to be experienced. But not to mention, Disneyland will welcome out-of-town guests also
on the 15th.
On the 15th. So a lot of excitement.
So check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel for any place you want to go.
So we're going to start the show this week at the Magic Kingdom, and we're going to head over to the Jungle Cruise. We rope dropped that 2 different days. First, we're going to look at how it looked, certain scenes anyway, how it looked last week, and then how it looked when you were there just yesterday.
Was it yesterday? I
or
think
the
it was
day
a couple
days.
Right, it was a couple days ago, and it said 5 minutes, and it was 50 minutes.
Well, you could see the big change here. This was last week. You just saw it, and now we have this hut here.
And it says boats, baits, and bites. So very exciting, I guess.
Well, now we're looking at the Trap Safari, but there's no safari quite yet. But very soon, only a week later, the safari will appear. And,
this was like a week ago.
1 week
and
ago.
Now this was a couple days ago.
And they're moving and everything. The very first day that they were up there, it was static. So it was nice to see the effect in full force.
And Disney says the Trap Safari party finds itself up a tree after the journey goes awry. There's actually quite a few changes coming that haven't been done yet. So it will be interesting to see next time we're riding it.
Now, last week we saw a hut, but the characters had been removed, and you'll see when we show this week's version, this whole hut here is completely behind wall, so something will be coming there. This scene here still is in existence.
I don't even know what today.
Well, as far as 2 days ago when you had shot this.
Every day is different, and so it's very interesting to see. And the jokes are changing some too.
Yeah, you said you heard some new jokes, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I heard things I either hadn't heard before or haven't heard in a really long time.
Well, they even referenced this construction wall on your tour, I noticed. They made a joke about the wall.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. I probably didn't notice.
So I thought that was pretty good. I enjoyed watching your... He was a great skipper, and I'll link to that later on in the show.
I just remember his name was Ryan. He was really good. I went again and waited another 40 or so minutes, and she was good too, but Ryan was excellent.
And that second time was for photos.
The second time was for photos, yes.
So now we're looking at where Trader Sam used to be, and you know, it was the same both times, so I'm just showing it once, but this is where the new Trader... what is it called?
Trader Sam's Gift Shop.
Gift Shop, that's right. His gift shop will be here.
So maybe you stop and you buy something.
I don't know about that. Well, he always offered you a deal before, so maybe the gift shop will have a similar deal.
We will see.
So anyway, thank you. You did a great job riding the Jungle Cruise in long line conditions.
I had a big day out that day. I was out like 10 or 12 hours.
And now we're going to jump back to last week when we had lunch at the Plaza Restaurant here in the Magic Kingdom.
That was very nice. We have not been to the Plaza Restaurant in probably a year and a half to 2 years at this point.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and things have changed. You'll see about that when we show the inside of the restaurant, but I'm just kind of showing the outside. I always like the look of it, and there's a restaurant called Victoria's at Disneyland Paris that is almost the same layout, yeah, which we've dined in before as well.
Well, they used to actually have real food at Victoria's, but then the last time they had like milkshakes and stuff. It was more of a milkshake place. So here we are at inside the Plaza Restaurant. There's a lot less tables, I think, than there normally would be. I mean, it might be almost half the amount of guests.
Well, I'll quickly say that may change, though, after today's announcement.
Well, today's announcement was that guests will be able to go unmasked indoors.
Well, and what I was getting at is distancing, including restaurants, will be lessened.
I haven't seen that about restaurants yet, but I expect it. And some restaurants already have. I did not realize, because I have not been here in a while, that they have house-made sangria, and there is not that much house-made sangria on Walt Disney World property. There's a company called, it looks like it's Opici, O-P-I-C-I, and it's like...
when we were at Morocco, is that what we had? Yeah, and I thought that was very good, but this was outstanding.
Well, I like a house-made sangria, and it's made, it was really good, and it was very popular. A lot of guests had it. And so we're looking at my food, which was a roast beef au jus with house cooked roast beef, caramelized onions. It had horseradish, and I totally forgot to ask to have it taken off. I do not like horseradish at all. And then I asked for mashed potatoes instead of French fries.
And that was a nice choice.
It was the potatoes, I think, are better than your fries. Your fries are more like normal fries.
Yeah, they used to have the thick fries.
Right. And those were really good. And then, but I had like red skin mashed potatoes. Those were very good.
And this is the Turkey Club sandwich, which was very good. I enjoyed it very much.
Well, it's a Turkey Club sandwich.
You're getting what you are you're expecting here.
But the horseradish kind of threw me. I forgot to ask to not have it. But I could have had like 3 sangrias.
Well, it was outstanding service, by the way. I mean,
it was
I had
excellent.
never was my glass less than half full. And then they even offered me to go full glass, soda, which was very nice.
She was really good.
And look at that view. I mean, this is why you dine there. Beautiful view. And this wonderful brownie sundae, too.
Which was totally different than before. Like the brownie was different, but it was huge. Like we took there were 2 slabs of brownie, and we took one home and split it into 4.
Actually, I took half my sandwich home as well.
So did you. Yeah, I did. But we took 1 slab of the brownie home and ate it over a couple more days. And then this is Edie's ice cream.
The big difference is no whipped cream. And maybe we could have asked for it, but in the past you'd have a big thing of whipped cream. I like how you can choose the kind of ice cream scoops you get. Totally different brownie, though, than the original version.
Yes, that was the big change for me. And, the Plaza ice cream has not reopened yet. So this is the only place, like the Plaza Restaurant's open, but you can't go to the ice cream shop yet or to Casey's Corner. Neither of them have reopened yet.
Now, as soon as we had walked out from the restaurant, we heard cavalcades coming, and we took a look over the cavalcades, and they were different.
Yeah.
They did not have the floats, so they had Main Street vehicles, and the princess here are actually walking the parade route. Totally different than
and
we used to.
And we each separately ran down Main Street.
Yes, we didn't even know. Like it was so fast. Like I gotta go. I ran through the stores to get this, and you got another different angle.
Yes, I was just at some point you just say, well, this is something a little different. You don't usually see an omnibus full of characters.
Right.
Not too often.
You never see the fairy godmother on the top of an omnibus. At least I haven't.
And I kind of wish we had gone to Frontierland, because to see a Main Street transportation going through Frontier,
you're kind of seeing it. I mean, it normally never comes through Liberty Square. So and there's Gaston.
I kind of wish we had gone to Frontierland. It's just something a little different. I mean, things have been fairly the same since the parks reopened. So anytime you get a little something unique, it's always fun. And I wish we could ride the omnibus. That will be, I'm hoping, like Disneyland's omnibus will be running.
And there is Moana, and I see Alice, I see Aladdin, all the Fantasyland. Well, actually, they changed it. It's the Magic Kingdom Cavalcade, formerly the Fantasyland Cavalcade.
And I never quite understood the Fantasyland aspect, because Aladdin is more Adventureland. And here we are looking at the princesses again.
This was the second time later in the day, and the difference here is you have more princesses walking because the omnibus wasn't out this time. So you pretty much had every princess walking except for Cinderella, who actually did have a ride on that one vehicle. So it's interesting. Every time we saw things, they changed on this day.
It was so hot too. We were planning to leave after lunch.
Yes,
and
true.
Here we ended up spending like a couple more hours in the hot.
Well, when this kind of thing happens, you don't leave.
It was interesting. It was interesting to see them on foot and in Main Street transportation.
And here's another thing that's very different. They usually never go around the hub in this direction. They never turn right as they're coming over the bridge. They always take the left and go the long way around. So this is the Mickey and Friends Cavalcade.
And I'm surprised. Did they do it because of the omnibus? Is that why they did it?
Probably.
Yeah, I did. The princesses didn't go around town square like they normally would. So, Mickey is in the car that Cinderella was in, and then you have the omnibus again.
I think we're about to see the omnibus, as you just mentioned, and it'll be Minnie up at the top section. And I agree with you. I would love to be able to ride this. It has been over a year, probably a year and a half, since we've ridden on an omnibus.
And I enjoy the omnibus and the Main Street transportation vehicles. So it'll be interesting to see again what Disneyland is doing and what Disneyland Paris will be doing as well.
And now you're seeing all the characters that are normally on the parade float. So again, you never know what's going to happen at the Magic Kingdom. Things can be very different once in a while. Sometimes in the rain they'll do this, but this was certainly not a rainy day.
I like, again, the little changes and things are changing now.
Well, even Pooh is on the trolley. And other times, Pooh and Tigger would be following the trolley. So it's a full trolley with Pooh characters.
This was a hot day. Tigger's probably like, oh my gosh, it's hot.
And maybe Tigger drew straws and lost. He had to walk while everybody has a nice ride.
Well, Tigger needs to get on hopefully he's now on the tram.
Now we're about to get off our feet and go onto the People Mover.
And I love the People Mover. I took this, I think, 3 times or so the other day, which I really enjoyed.
And you hadn't used my video camera in a while, so I think it was nice that you got the practice. You did a great job.
I think I did a pretty good job. And here we are. Really, we're just showing the Tron area. And you could tell that the top was recently reopened again. And I think that it may have just happened like that day. So you're just looking at the current construction. It was originally supposed to open for the 50th anniversary. The kickoff, I think it was supposed to open for October 1st, but there's no way this is going to be done by October 1st.
Right, but hopefully by the end of the celebration. The canopy does look great. I mean, just like it does in Shanghai at this point. It's looking really, really good.
Well, they're adding they've added lights, and right now they're working on. They had sealed that area up, I think, a couple months ago or so.
Right.
And so now it just feels like they're really. They have been working on it the whole time, but it feels like they're
ramping up now.
Yes, that's what it feels like now.
So here we're taking a look at the outside, a totally different angle of Tron.
And it's really amazing to think we're going to have 2 e-ticket roller coasters in Tomorrowland. I think that's really cool. And I actually am looking forward to the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Probably the most of any of the new additions.
Ratatouille.
But we've been
I love
on the
Ratatouille.
We've not done the Guardians
I
of the
know.
Galaxy.
I love Remy.
So we're taking just a very quick look at a few scenes from our ride on the Liberty Belle on this hot day.
And there was no wait, so we hopped aboard, and you can see. I do love seeing the characters from this angle because you're almost,
You're looking from their level.
You're looking at them, not up at them.
Or down at them. I mean, this was the second level because we wanted some shade. I mentioned it was a bit warm that day. We're looking at the Main Street Band here.
And I guess they're just about one of my favorites to see as they go by. And we could hear, and I forget what the music was, but it was like a Disney song as they passed. But it was probably really hot for them too.
So this was the first thing that I noticed that was different from the last time that we rode the Liberty Belle. This smoking settler's cabin, which used to be on fire for many, many years.
I don't remember those lights before.
Right. I don't. I mean, this looks much better than the last time we rode.
They're actually, there used to be the fire, right?
Right.
There used to be the fire.
So there is a dog here. Looks very much like he could be related to the Carousel of Progress dog here, or one of the dogs in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
And we had not seen the dog before, so I thought that was. It's nice to see. They don't have to. Revitalize scenes in the Riverboat area because people won't know. Most people aren't going to notice.
Right. Yeah. As soon as we saw the dog, though, we quickly noticed.
I thought that. Also the smoking settler's cabin and some other things here as well.
It'll be interesting to see if Beacon Joe returns. I mean, his fish is there, his fishing pole is there, so maybe he just went to take a little break.
And he's mentioned in the
mentioned in the narration. And here we're looking at a view of the old Mike Fink keelboat dock.
And I don't even think that I ever rode them for whatever reason, surprisingly.
It was so much fun, like the Jungle Cruise on the Rivers of America. What more could you ask for?
I just don't think I did. It's terrible.
So we're going to see us coming into the dock, and that was pretty much almost it. Although I do think we're going to head over and take a look at the now closed area of Big Thunder. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's only closed until maybe like tomorrow. It's only for a few days.
Yeah, very short refurbishment. I'll let you narrate because you were actually there for this.
I mean, I took the video not because it's going to be some kind of lengthy thing, but because I like fun signage, and
Right.
I feel like I was lucky to be able to grab some photos and video of it. You know, they got the mountain goat infestation. I think they did a really nice job telling guests and in a fun way for something that is going to be down for a total of maybe 5 days, 6 days
Right.
at most.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the storytelling.
And you got the Barnabas tea bullion there, and I just thought it was fun. And a lot of guests though were coming up looking for, you know, it'd be like, oh, is Big Thunder Mountain open? And I'd be like, no, it's not open. And they'd be looking around to try to figure it out.
Now, afterwards, you went over to Epcot, and I'll let you explain why you were over at Epcot. This was an unplanned part of your day.
Well, I was planning to come to Epcot, but I went to the boathouse. I originally was supposed to have lunch with somebody, but then I still ended up going a little later to the boathouse. And then I was planning to come over to Epcot. I had a plan, but then we saw that Scuba Mickey was here, and so I shoveled down my boathouse mail pretty quickly and wrapped stuff up, and then headed over here and enjoyed seeing Mickey. And I don't know that I've seen him before like this, and if I have, it's been a very long
Well,
time.
if only one of us could see him, I'm glad it was you. I have seen scuba diving Mickey before, and I am so. This is when I got to be so jealous when I saw he was there because I would have loved to see scuba diving Mickey in person again.
And I was planning to go to Epcot. I didn't do pretty much anything I planned to. I just came here, and I was in here for quite some time.
So why don't you set up the scene? How did people know where Mickey was, or was he at different places every time? Or tell me what happened.
He was just in this main area, and so I actually was sitting talking to you online,
Right.
and not in this area, and I probably missed him first because I was in an area with Wi-Fi, which this area does not really have good Wi-Fi or any kind of signal whatsoever.
Well, you certainly made up for it because you got some great footage of him. And I know in some of your footage I could see it was really crowded. You know, there was a ton of guests wanting to get selfies with him.
There was a good amount of guests. It wasn't terrible, but, you know, they sort of wanted you to... Now, this is where I was when I was talking to you. This is not at the time I was talking to you, but from this angle,
Right.
you get kind of see him from the side, which I thought was fun too. But they sort of were trying to get, you know, of course, guests to take a photo and move along, but people to my left were not moving too much, and I couldn't get around them, so I took extra footage, which was very nice.
Well, this was fun because when you first gave this to me, I was watching it, and of course I'm looking at scuba diving Mickey, and then you have a little bonus enter the screen, which I thought was really cool. We're going to see that in just a number of seconds.
Well, I liked the manta ray that was with him in the other video.
Yeah, here
area.
it comes. Look at that. Look at that. What a great scene.
I just don't come into the living seas that often, and now I'm just like, it's very relaxing. And look, you know, you got the stingrays, the manta rays, the fish. There was sea turtles. I don't know if you're going to show the sea turtle video.
Yeah, we'll see a little clip of the sea turtle.
And it's like, why do I not come in here? I really enjoyed my time, even when I'm not looking at Mickey. I enjoyed watching the animals.
Right. Well, I think the
life.
last time we were in here together is when we rode the attraction.
But I didn't really spend time here.
Right.
And
we just walked through it quickly.
You know, I found an area to sit in when I was talking to you, and just enjoyed watching the sea turtles come through and such.
So this is about it. That was the end of Scuba Diving Mickey, and we're going to take one quick look at the turtle. I thought it was very interesting, so I kept that in. I'll let you narrate it.
Well, I don't have to narrate too much, but look how cute. I did not remember there were sea turtles here, and it's terrible. So
I don't remember that either. It's Crush.
Next time we go to Epcot, we're going to walk in and go look at the animals, the sea life, the mammals.
Well, this works out good with the ride as well, because you could be getting, going through that one section of the ride and seeing a real crush.
There was more than one sea turtle also, but I remember when we went to Icon Park, the Sea Life Aquarium, and I was excited they had a sea turtle, and here we have them here too.
And you got a good view of the lights. You're going to have special lighting on Spaceship Earth, and it's even down low now under Spaceship Earth.
Well, this will, it'll be one of the 4 beacons of magic, but that lighting is meant to be permanent, and permanent is, nothing is 100%
We've learned that this year, didn't we?
Well, I just think permanent is temporary until until otherwise further notice.
So now we are at Disney's Hollywood Studios. This is yet another day, another warm day. And the reason we're showing this is because we were lucky enough to get a Rise of the Resistance boarding group this day.
And this, we have not ridden since the parks reopened. I haven't even really tried for a boarding group except like one time. So this was maybe the second time we've tried, and it was nice to actually get it.
And I think the last time you rode was in California, early 2020, right before the pandemic.
Well, March 2020, days before the Disneyland closed.
Now here we are. We are in the ride vehicle. At this point, when we were on it about a week and a half ago, there was still plexiglass, and you can see between the first and second row.
And we're not even going to talk through the next minute or so. We can just show you that there's no Kylo Ren animatronic, so that's going to be a little bit different.
We didn't know at the time, but this actually was B mode, a different, the whole day, I guess, there were certain effects not working, so you'll get to see and hear what happens when major effects are not working.
It's much more interesting than our voices, so here you go.
All right, here we go.
Wait, why are you going up? I said down, up is bad. Up is real bad.
Elizabeth has escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run. Resistance is about to be destroyed. Came in a little off target.
So you saw the animatronic of Kylo Ren was not working. That might have been the first time we have not seen it working.
Definitely was the first time.
And so an alternate ending is triggered.
Yeah, you see him, Kylo Ren, in the TIE fighter and everything, battling.
Well, he appears through the windows in front of the transports, and I'm just reading this because I want to make sure I say it properly, in his TIE fighter, and threatens to blast them if they don't give him information on the Resistance base.
But it's interesting to see something different. Plus, the cannons, you actually had more time with those big cannons, and you got to see the space battle going on outside the windows. You kind of backed up where normally you go through that area quicker.
But I just thought it was funny because I'm like, where's Kylo?
Yeah, because that's sort of the main effect in the whole attraction. So at least they do have an alternate.
And then we have not seen this in many, many months with the Mickey and Minnie in their cavalcade here. And I think there was Pluto. I'm not sure who else.
Yeah, the usual Mickey and Friends.
Mickey and Friends.
So it was nice to see that cavalcade. I don't know how long this will continue. Things are changing really fast.
Right, and like the Epcot, you only have one cavalcade still. Here you have, I think, pretty much everything. But whenever we do go to Hollywood Studios, it feels like we miss everything but Disney Junior each time, pretty much.
That's true. That's true. And believe it or not, that is another show.
That's another show, thanks to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. She is going to be on a Royal Caribbean cruise, like a test cruise.
I just saw that. Yeah, she was on an airplane on the way to that cruise. That's very exciting.
One of like 3. I think she has 3 airplanes to get there.
So be sure to check out MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. There's a lot of travel opportunities going on, that's for sure.
Including, France just opened up to international travel on the 9th. So now if you want to visit France, you need a vaccination and a COVID test. And then travel, you need the masks and everything. It will be very interesting.
Yeah, well, we may know a little about that. We'll see what happens. I'll just say this. We will not be having a show next week. So in 2 weeks, tune in and we'll have a very nice surprise.
Surprise.
A lot of stuff to talk about in 2 weeks.
So, well, as long as everything goes smoothly, we might have things to talk about.
So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Unless it doesn't go smoothly.
Then we'll see you all in 1 week.
So, yeah, bonjour.
See you next week or 2 weeks. Bye-bye.